looking for? What? What up? What up? What up?
Hello. Welcome to yet another episode of Love and Business.
Yeah.
I feel all good.
It's a good day.
I
You
feel all
looking good. Huh? You
Yeah.
got them lip glosses popping.
Yeah. I feel good because I got my Dominate sign in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily. Well, in this location, we can always change it, but hey.
Temporarily, I got my Dominate sign back. So yeah, we got a temporary podcast set up for now.
Yeah.
But good news. We got a new studio coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming real soon.
Let's do this. I need y'all to like. I need you to share. I need you to hashtag live and tell us where you watching from. Oh, LaShawn. What's up, LaShawn Holland?
Thank you.
You
know, tell Rob I'm trying to rep for the light skinned brothers now. I'm trying to rep. Let him know.
Oh man, it's such a blessing to have our coach on here.
Absolutely.
What's up, Chrissy?
Please hashtag where you watching from and hashtag live, please.
Let's do that. We're gonna get some of our friends and family in here tonight. We got some amazing information to share tonight. This is gonna be
it's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be real fun tonight. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too.
It's been a week. My Lord.
And it ain't over.
It's not.
Yeah.
It has been a week. It has been a day. It has been a month. April is in here. And it is, I'm talking about, it came in with some
tie-out. Yeah. Hey, like and share this. Like and share the broadcast as well. Like and share it for us, fam. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to get jumping here in a minute. But just wanted to take a moment and just kind of debrief, man, because it has been.
It's been some time.
It's been a week.
We had a special project we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. And we've taken some messy action to get some stuff done. So it is finally done, and maybe we can go to bed tonight before.
I got work to do because we've been working.
Oh,
I still got work to do.
So you got work to do. Yeah. Look at that. That's you see how that have to happen. We have to work even when we thought we was we was good. So let's talk about the day though. Let's talk about the day. So what did you do today?
I worked.
Oh. He said that like on work.
No, my day was pretty. I had meetings, like a lot of meetings today. Some of them can be very draining though.
Yeah.
Like it could be some meetings, it's just time consuming, especially when it's not productive or revenue producing. But some of them you have to kind of do. But it was overall, it was a decent day, but I didn't get everything that I needed to get done. So
I ain't gonna lie, my day was a lot better than your day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to I don't know if y'all saw my Facebook post today, but and of course if you're listening on one of our podcast platforms, then you probably need to go and check it out. But Caitlin had a field trip today, so some kind of way, I saw the email and I felt like I should volunteer. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause sometimes you're a business owner. I know some women, especially if you like high performing, boss, but you're a mama on the side.
On the side.
So
on the side.
For me, sometimes I be kind of feeling like, you know what I'm saying? I be having like this little mom guilt, right? So the email came through and I was like, oh, I should volunteer for that. I'm trying to be transparent here, man. Because I know who our audience is, and I know, moms especially boss moms. I get it. If you working, if you working 9 to 5, technically you can kind of leave that, right? Like after 5, you done.
Get take some PTO or something.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? In boss world, sometimes for me anyway, I can't turn this off. Like it's always on.
Yeah.
And so I'm always thinking like, okay, am I doing a good job as being a mom? Do I need to be more present? Did I miss another school event? Did I check my emails right? You know what I'm saying, on time? And so when this email came through, I was like, well, this seemed like something that I should volunteer at, because it's BizTown. And, for those that aren't familiar with what that is, basically, Caitlin had to explain to us that basically for 12 weeks, they went through this process of learning how to, own a business, work in a business. They had to learn how to balance a checkbook, how to write checks, this whole process. And they even had to go through interview series, this whole deal.
Yeah.
And so I volunteered to go to this event with a whole bunch of kids. Now, woosah. Let me tell you, children ain't my ministry, okay? It's really not.
Yeah.
The children is not my ministry. See that it said, I'm not alone in the mom guilt, right? I feel like sometimes as a mom, I need to do a little bit more, especially if I know I've been, doing a lot in the businesses and not necessarily as present.
Yeah.
So in this particular situation, I signed up and I didn't know. I thought it was just Caitlin's class, really. I didn't know that it was the whole
5th grade.
It was the whole 5th grade.
All up.
Now,
all up.
I also didn't know like what I was gonna have to do. I just kind of figured, I would maybe, point my finger out and like direct the kids off the bus, maybe help set up lunch or something. I really didn't know. But anyway, I get there today and I am the volunteer for United Way. So they had all types of businesses in there. It was United Way, Chick-fil-A, Capital One. Caitlin was the CEO of the Blood Center.
Yeah.
They had a contractors company in there. They had the mayor, City Hall.
Reporter,
yep. They had a radio station. Like this was a real little town. Like, and so the kids had
it looked like a movie set.
Yeah, it did. They even had like a little theater in there and a cafe. They had a pet shop. So all of these different businesses were in there. And the kids had to, over the last few weeks or so, they had to decide what did they want to interview for. And so, of course, my daughter, she decided she only want to interview for 2 CEO positions. I'm like,
2 of them.
Now, what I'm thinking is, what if she didn't get the 2 CEO positions, then I guess she wouldn't have had a job in BizTown. I don't know. But turns out she interviews for the Blood Center CEO, and I believe she wanted Chick-fil-A, right? She wanted to be the CEO of Chick-fil-A, but she ends up getting the Blood Center CEO position. And of course, because I'm a volunteer for the event, I can't work my own kids' business. So I was in United Way. So my team had to make buttons. I think that was their product. They had to make buttons, and they also had to figure out a way to solicit donations. Where, of course, at the Blood Center, Caitlin and her team had to take blood donations, and they also had to figure out a way to make profit because, donating blood, you don't get paid for
free,
and so they saw that they had like this little massage thing in there, like one of the little Theraguns or whatever. So Caitlin decides, her and her team decide that they're going to use that to charge people $1 a minute for massages. And then they had this little exercise bike in there. So they decide they're going to charge $1 a minute to work out. So anyway, long story short, of course, my kid, boss kid, ends up winning the most professional business of the day at the end of the day. So kudos to Caitlin. I hope they were able to get on and watch us tonight. From level 2.
Proud.
But we are super proud of her for the work that she did. Let's give her some hearts and some fire in the chat. We're super proud of you, Caitlin, for being the best business today. There you go. All in my ear. As you can see, Lamont has a new tool. Yeah. And I am going to mute or delete or silence all of those on this deal. so he can't do that no more. But kudos to Caitlin for being the most professional business at BizTown today. But I thought this was super cool. And I figured we could talk about that, right? Because here it is. We got our kids in this amazing school. Thank God that we're able to, to do that. But this is an experience that I know most kids, most adults, don't even get the opportunity to do. But I'm in there watching some 10 and 11-year-olds. When they first walk into their business, they had to apply for a business loan. I know most adults haven't even done that, but here it is. My 10-year-old is in class with her classmates in the blood center today, applying for their very first business loan. And that's a huge deal, you know what I'm saying, if you ask me, because I know that there are several adults that have never applied for a business loan, right? And they were literally showing these kids step by step how to run their business. And then the second step, after they ran payroll, the CFO had to run, after they applied for the loan, they had to run payroll. So the CFO was responsible for running payroll for her team. She had to input their salaries and make sure that it was calculating for the right amount of tax. And then once she ran payroll, then the CFO had to print the checks. I said, man, this is super powerful.
Yeah.
Because here they are at 10 and 11 years old printing checks.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is changing, you know.
The dynamic. I mean, and when I think about it, when you was telling me about the loan deal, I was like, man, we felt so lost just getting a loan for a house.
Right. Let alone a business.
Absolutely.
But here these kids, they ain't got no home loan yet, but they know how to do a business loan.
The only loans I knew about was student loans.
Right. They had to type in, how much their payroll was going to be.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is over the last 12 weeks, they've been projecting all of these numbers. So over the last 12 weeks, they've been doing the work. They've been setting the framework for their business. Wow. So they've been setting the salaries. They're looking at the tax rates. They're looking at what their operating costs. Like I'm looking at this. They bring the sheet with them. So they give me an envelope when I walk in as the volunteer and say, hey, here's everything that the kids have. So they had 4 checkbooks in there where they had balanced, their checkbook based off of their first, what their first paycheck was going to be. Okay. And so, when I'm looking at this sheet and they got operating costs, they got payroll, they got, business expenses.
Yeah.
And then they had the cost of the loan. So they already knew all of this. They just needed to input it in the system for the bank.
So that I got you.
Capital One, the real bank at Biztown, was processing the loans for the students.
Sending them out. Yeah.
So the very first break that they had during the day, all of the CEOs had to go take all of the documentation over to Capital One so that they could get their business loan. This is amazing to me. These are 10 and 11-year-olds. And I know right now there are some people that, they want to get started in business, right? I can only imagine that now my 10-year-old, if she walks in the bank when she's 15, 25, 35, she's already had this experience.
It's not so uncommon.
No, right? This is regular everyday stuff. She has watched payroll be processed, right, by her own business at 10. I'm so excited about this. I was blown away. I started taking pictures. I felt like a grandma in there today because I'm videoing, I'm taking, pictures and selfies and everything, because this was such an exciting experience to see all of these 10 and 11-year-olds walking around trying to problem solve and fix things, right?
Yeah.
And I know y'all thinking, why are we telling you about our 10-year-old daughter's experience, but we going somewhere, right? Because the way I see this is my daughter now having this experience is going to break up the fear that I know a lot of people that are our age or, maybe even a little older or younger don't even want to walk in. They don't even want to walk into those situations because they haven't had, right, this type of experience at such a young age, right? Like that type of fear of how do I get my first business loan, or do I want to be a CEO, or will I be able to handle payroll, right, for a company? Like these are things that I don't really think any of these kids gonna be thinking about.
Right. I mean, it's a common thing. Like, hey, I want to start a business. What is this? You're able to think through. They will be able to think through the process. And it's not that they have the entire structure figured out, but they have a framework of what that looks like, right? And I'm like, yeah. When she told me that they had to take their check to the bank and deposit it,
they had to deposit it. Absolutely.
What? The CEO signing off on the checks, and people getting assigned different tasks and things like that.
Now that's what was powerful to me, right? Is that today my daughter signed payroll checks.
Yeah.
Now I wish I could have been in there with her. I knew she was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to.
I want to see your signature. I want to see how she signed.
Let me tell you, this brought me. I had a relapse. Listen, even though I'm excited about this experience my daughter had, let me tell y'all something. Children are not my ministry. Okay. Yeah. The little CEO that I had up in my business, this little boy, he He gets his check, right? Now, these are amazing experiences because these kids are young, but at the same time, they having some thoughts, and they saying some stuff out of their mouth that I'm just like, man, this is different. So the little CEO in my spot, United Way, I tell the CFO, okay, go give him the checks because he need to sign the checks so that when y'all get a break, you're gonna be able to go cash a check. So the first check that was on top was his.
That's a little dated. Ain't nobody cashing no checks, but yeah.
Either way, they needed to go through the process. So anyway, little fella get his check. He looking at the check. I say, okay, you need to sign it because the signature line is blank. Little fella say to me, "How? Well, I'm gonna sign this check. I don't need to sign this check. It got my name on it. I can't sign this check and it got my name on it." I said,
"Is that how you said it?"
I said, "Sir, this the black version."
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he said it way different than that. So I said, "Sir, if you want to cash this check on your break, you're gonna need to put your signature on this line." He says, "But that is not how it goes. My name is on the line at the top. Why would I be signing at the bottom?" I said, "Well, you are the CEO, sir, and you're responsible for making sure that there's funds in the bank for these checks, and you're responsible for signing them so that the rest of the people can get their checks." He kind of looks at me a little confused, and he go ahead and he starts signing the check. Now, he's signing with a pencil. I had to do a deep breath because I said, "Lord, we just got here. I'm ready to snatch these little children up." So I said, "Sir, Mr. CEO, you can't sign a check with a pencil.
It's not the right thing to do."
This boy look up at me while I'm looking at him, and he slams this pencil down on the desk. And I say, "Okay, you taking your little CEO job way too serious for me today." And he grabs the pen and he starts signing the rest of these checks. I walked out of United Way for a little while because I needed to regather myself because I hadn't even been there for 15 minutes when this happened.
Yeah, that's a whole nother situation.
Nonetheless, the little boy signed the checks, okay? He signed the checks, and then, of course, they go on breaking. Like I said, they did need to go to the bank, and cash the checks. But I was just thinking to myself, here it is. My now 10-year-old daughter has signed her first set of checks, to meet payroll, for her first business, so to speak.
And she had like 4 people that was
she had 4 employees, right?
That was reporting to her, so to speak.
But I think that experience has exposed her, right? And exposure is super important, on the journey of entrepreneurship for sure. But if we're able to expose our children to this at such a young age, now, mind you, we do have businesses, obviously, and they see what we do, but this is like, it's real, right? You know what I'm saying? This is real to them. And it was amazing to watch. And it was amazing to see, what the kids were able to do throughout the day, like how they were able to learn how to problem solve, through, throughout, they had multiple breaks, but they also had town hall meetings, and any issue that arose inside of the business, I couldn't help them to, come to I had to just kind of give a little bit of guidance, but I couldn't tell them what the answer was. And it was just amazing to see that these kids could see an obstacle and then figure out a way, how to hurdle over that.
Absolutely. No, and I think something that you just said is key, and that was the exposure, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the main reason we would take our kids to loan closings. Right, mm-hmm. We in the bank, and I want them to sit at the head of the table.
When we're buying an investment property.
Over there. Yeah, we're buying an investment property. I'm gonna pass the papers by them. Mm-hmm. They ain't signing them, of course, but I'm gonna pass the papers by them. They gonna know what it is that we're doing, so that it's not uncommon. Right. The last thing that I want, and it's not something that my parents did, but it's the exposure. Right. Mm-hmm. We were exposed, and then we got connected. Right, to different coaches or our wealth coach that helped us to see, hey, this is kind of the direction that you want to go, right? With exposing them. LaShawn did she was telling Crystal and I the same thing, that's the reason those girls are really in the school that they're in.
Absolutely.
That's the reason we started to take them to, because we were exposed, right?
Yeah.
So the last thing that I'd want is for my kids, us to, only be able to expose them to the level of which we have been exposed, which is okay. Mm-hmm. But it's our duty to raise our level of exposure.
Absolutely.
Right. It's our duty to raise our level of exposure. Because the last thing I want is for my girls to go out into the world and be as confused as a billy goat on AstroTurf. Right. They in the world and don't know what to do.
Lamar, what did you just say? What does a billy goat exactly?
Listen, it looked like grass. A billy goat eat grass. Goats eat grass. AstroTurf is artificial grass. It looked like grass, and they trying to chew it, and they don't know what's going on. That's confusion for them, right? So the kids get in the world, they think that things are supposed to operate one way because they've seen it operate one way, and they have no clue how to go about doing it, right? Because they don't have the exposure.
Okay.
And then when you get the exposure, now you have to dive into it to understand it, right? So that's what I like so much about BizTown, because our girls can see us going to sign loan documents, but then do they know what we're signing, right? Are they okay with signing a 15% loan that's amortized over the next 20 years for a car?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like? So understanding what that is important. Yeah, right. But so the exposure and then diving into it to get the information or understanding of what it is just as important.
I get that. Yeah. I just, that's a great point there. I had just got lost at the billy goat, but you brought it back all the way around. Yeah. And I'm proud because you looped that very well. Cause I just didn't know where it was going.
Make it make sense. I make sense now.
Yeah. Well, at the time, the billy goat just didn't make sense.
Gotta use your that 6 inches in between your ears and make sure that you.
Well, yours more like 8.
But yeah.
Anyway, back to BizTown. Oh man, so what I saw today, I feel like I think we're about to be able to do that for adults.
Yeah.
I think
it's because it's a lot of adults that a lot of people that we've been around just in general, right? That we see on a day-to-day that have something that they want.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to even start. And it's really because they didn't have that
exposure.
Exactly. But you're never too old to learn, right? It's never too late to get started because someone is waiting on you, right? Your kids, your generation, your legacy is waiting on you. Absolutely. And that's really what BizTown shared with me was, hey, because of what we're doing now, that's just continuing to solidify that our next generation is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right. Our kids will have some type of foundation to stand on. Yeah. Right. Not just from a financial perspective, but from, the thought process and the way that we can impart different things into them because of what we're imparting into our girls now.
Yeah.
Right. But because of what we put into action.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that we just bookworms and just read or just watch videos and things like that, but they see us put things into action.
Which is why obviously I think Caitlin only wanted to apply for CEO positions.
And I told, I was, and even with that, I was telling her like, hey, if you have to make people want to come to the blood center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
It ain't always exciting.
Right.
To want to give blood either. So I think that's exactly right. And what was amazing is that, her and her team were able to, create some other things to want to, for people to actually want to come in there. Right. And tapping into that level of creativity at, I think at an early age is super important, but it just shows that like these kids can be great examples for a lot of adults.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in business, especially because of, the obstacles and challenges that come with that, sometimes you really do have to go back to being a kid again, not being afraid to try something. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've done some real dumb stuff as kids, right? You know what I'm saying? We done jumped off, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff that we shouldn't have jumped off of. We riding a bicycle, you know what I'm saying? Super fast down a hill and ain't got no protective equipment on.
Nothing. And then I didn't know what a helmet looked like
outside of a football. I never owned a helmet. Our kids got 10 of them and they won't ride a bike.
Drinking water out the hose pipe. Now we won't even drink it out the faucet.
First of all, you're gonna filter my water is what you're gonna do.
That's just
listen, the hose pipe water ain't the same as it was when we was kids.
Man,
it's something in the water.
I hadn't tasted it myself lately, so I don't know.
Yeah, because we're gonna drink this filtered water. But outside of drinking filtered water, we can still take risk around here. You know what I'm saying? But I think as kids, we're so open to taking these types of risks and, going out and just doing things. And for us, I think in business at least, we're still open to that, that childlike adventure space. Now, don't get me wrong, not that we don't feel something, you know what I'm saying? But
I think what happened is the more at bats you get, the more reps you get, the more times you do it, and the people that you're around. I promise, man, if you really think like that, making $100,000 a month is outlandish or something like that, or wait till you get around somebody that make like 300 a month.
It's gonna
right.
You said 100,000 a month,
right? Oh, okay. But I'm just saying, like, just say even if it's 20,000, if somebody thinks that it's hard to make $20,000 a month, when they start hanging around somebody that make 100,000 a month, it's like, oh, that's what they doing.
Or how about a day? I mean, let's just talk about it.
I'm just trying to paint the picture.
Yeah.
Because we look at it, really, most people look at it from an annual basis. What's your annual salary?
What's your daily salary?
Yeah,
come on, somebody. Ain't nobody saying nothing about a daily salary.
Ain't nobody. But I'm just
the
talking,
language.
Exactly.
The language.
The language is just different.
It really is.
It's just different.
That just hit me. That just hit me. What is your daily salary?
Yeah.
That's I think if we're exposed,
and do you control it? Is it set by someone else, like wholly, completely? And if it is, then what limitations does that put on you and your family, right? What limitations or what control does that give someone else completely over you, your family, your legacy, and how it's going to be perceived? And it's nothing, it's nothing wrong with it. You just have to be aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I need all of y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to share this because I think that more people need to more people need to filter their water for sure. But I do know that more people need to gather this type of information. Yeah. Like a lot of times I think as adults, we just lose the ability to take adventures. We lose the ability to be risk takers. When we were younger, it was okay to do that.
Well, we were kind of, we were taught to be only employees.
Well, yeah, to a degree.
You know what I mean? And I say only because we have the option, now to do things different. Early on, that was just kind of, without the internet and things like that. I mean, it was tougher, but people still made, did business and things like that. But it was just tougher because your market wasn't as wide as it is now.
Yeah.
But being able to understand and think unconventionally, because again, it's almost like it's just that's how we were taught, because the people that started the school systems and things like that, they wanted employees.
Right. Absolutely.
And wanted you to be solely dependent on them. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being an employee, but if it's not fulfilling the legacy, the dream, if it's not building the purpose and what you feel like God gave you, then it's a moot point. You know what I mean? But if you ask yourself, why am I not fulfilling that purpose? And that's what really, so the more at bats we got, the easier it kind of became, the more we saw opportunity. And the truth be told, I was telling Crystal this last night, is I'm not going to use the example that I gave.
If it got anything to do with a Billy Goat, we don't need it twice.
No.
Okay.
But people that run these big companies are no different than us. They have some of the same devices in their homes, meaning really a toilet, right? Because their bodies function pretty much the same way ours do. We all need a bathroom, right? They're humans just like us. Their problems just may be on a scale that's going to affect a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're still looking for, how can I fulfill my purpose? How can I, this next product that I want to launch, what does that look like, right? And ours just may be, how can I start a t-shirt business?
Right.
How can I start, a lawn cutting business? Or what is the business that I want to do? If I want to start a florist shop, how, that may only affect you immediately, but it can affect generations to come. But it's the same start. It's the same start. They have some of the same fears, some of the same. And when you get in the room and you start talking to these people, you're like, man, they normal. They got kids. They got, they worried about their kid soccer game, and their daughter is not compliant, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They ain't worried about.
Now we gotta have compliance.
Yeah, they worried about prom and what their wife and husband are talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's the same things, but it's what are you focused on and what are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah, I think and for us that was really big that we started gathering community. Especially now. I don't think there's nothing that we could do without having some type of support system, a community, and not just um uh, I mean like a community that's helping us to grow and develop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
not just people we talk to about soap operas.
No. And I think that, for us, it's just super important that we cultivate, the type of environment that we need, right, to be successful, not just in business, but also in life. And, for us, I think now we're seeing that it's super important to, you know, make sure that we're sharing just as much of, the journey of how we were able to do what we have done up until this point, being as, like I always say, as transparent as I possibly can in that
Absolutely.
process, because we don't want to make people think that it's just super simple, right? Or that we didn't have any challenges or obstacles, but we at least want people to know that it is possible.
Absolutely.
And that's what BizTown did for these kids today. You know what I'm saying? It helped them to see that this is actually possible to do.
Possible.
Right. And then you could see the excitement on their faces throughout the day as they, especially at my little spot in United Way in the beginning of the day, because this is like a nonprofit, type deal. They was like, man, they not buying these buttons. So then they flipped it a little bit and they was like, well, we'll tell people that they can make their own button. That way they can make it how they want.
Customize.
Customize the button. So then that, was a thing. But then they got the hot deal of the day. They tell the teacher that they wanted to raffle off homework passes.
Creativity.
Man, listen, that little deal right there caught wildfire throughout the whole BizTown. One kid coming there with his debit card, because that's another thing. They gave him a debit card when they went to the bank to cash their check. They had they got out $2 cash, and then all of the rest of their money was put on a debit card. Wow. So everybody got their own, Visa debit card from the Capital. Like, they was real little cards.
Hey, I believe it, man.
And they had credit card swiping machines at the businesses, right? So one little kid comes in there with his debit card. He said, listen, I'm out of cash. He said, but I need you to swipe everything that's left on my card for these homework tickets. That little boy, listen, he was adamant about winning them free homework passes, man. But they got innovative. You know what I'm saying? They kept, trying to hit the mark, because they realized, hey, I got this business loan, and it shows on the screen, how much they had to pay towards the business loan. The contractors was coming over, giving them a bill. The sign company had came and brought them a bill that they had Signworks. And Signworks, had already charged them for the sign for the building. So they knew they had all these expenses. And they was like, man, we're not selling enough, We
got to catch something up.
We got to catch it up. And I was like, man, these kids are 10 and 11, man. But and they spinning their wheels. They're thinking it through. They're continuing to be innovative and creative and making these new ideas to make it work. And I'm like, man, all the adults should have been in there taking notes.
Listen, but you know what you said something that I thought was super interesting, and I don't want to just breeze by it. This young Skywalker then came, he done spent all his cash. He says, hey, swipe everything on my card because I'm willing to give everything I got because this homework pass is just that important to me.
He said, I'm going to take a chance.
Right?
Yeah.
How important is it to him? But we got, as adults, we won't part with $20 to build our dream.
Okay, then you're gonna go there with it.
Go ahead. What I'm saying? Because I'm just thinking, right? He gave up something because he had a desire for something. He had a vision of himself not doing this homework. Like, hey, I'm putting my chips in there, man.
And he put every chip he had.
I'm putting my chips in there.
So this is crazy part. I guess on the back end, they probably wasn't able to necessarily figure this out. But the little cards, each person, like when they went to Capital One, some kind of way these computer systems were synced. So when they got to Capital One to open up their account to be able to get a debit card and cash the checks, it showed how much money that they had made, from the businesses or whatever. Like they already had all this stuff. In the systems. We had to set all that up in our stores. So the teacher walks by me like midday. He was like, listen, because I tell him about the kid that came and swiped everything he had. He told the boy, I don't know what he had. I think he may have had like $3-4 left. But the teacher says, I just want you to know they didn't figure out on the back end how to limit how much was on their card.
So
he say, so don't tell the kids.
Hey, it's some adults out here don't think that they got.
But listen though, I got a word for the people, right? Because I feel like we really do have limitless possibilities, right?
Okay,
we really do.
Talk to me.
But I think that what restrains us is our exposure, right? Our mindset. The way,
no doubt.
Our experiences,
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And really, if this kid would have really took a shot, I'd just walked in there with that card and be like, I'm gonna see if this like credit. Give me 20 tickets.
I'm just saying.
But that's the, if we could unlock that type of thinking, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This unlimited thinking, right? Like I couldn't believe this guy. He tells me that they don't have a limit, but they don't know. They don't know.
Wow.
I
see.
They don't know that they don't have a limit.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, I wonder which kid, because you gotta know now. It's a lot of kids in there. I wonder which kid figured it out.
I've been hitting Chick-fil-A up.
Listen, give me all of the waffle fries. Do you hear me? I would have been, I'm talking about hitting the snack bar, about all the pets they had left. You know what I'm saying? And I would have told us all.
Just swipe out and walk around with back. Hey, it's some grown-ups do that right now. That got that $39 $5 meal from Wendy's because they overdraft.
All I'm saying is, what if we're like that?
Yeah,
I believe that we are.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying this, is this, hypothetical question to our listening audience.
Yeah.
What if we are limitless?
Yeah.
What if you are and you just don't know it?
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying? You just hadn't tapped into that. And I think, what I'm saying, for the most part, I think we've finally realized that, right? Like we have this thought process of there's nothing that we're gonna touch, right? That's not gonna be successful in some type of way, right? Even if to the world it doesn't look like it's successful, to us we have learned, right, something in the process.
Absolutely.
But I really truly believe that I could do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I just choose what I want to do and what I don't.
Absolutely.
And that's the thought process that I think, as adults, we need to be able to unlock. Like we really have to tap into that part of us that is limitless. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Just imagine. I know it's one of them little kids in there, because them some little innovative little kids, man. I'm telling you, they was thinking. And I know it was a kid in there. I didn't see it for myself. But I just feel somewhere in my shana, it was some little boy up in there that had figured out. I just swiped there and I thought I only had $3 left.
Why gotta be a boy?
It was probably a bad little boy. It was a bad little boy that figured it out. And he probably had went to that little candy shop and he swiped 3 things and they let him get it, but he thought he only had $2. Come on, man. Once you tap into that type of power and that type of ability, I think it does something for you.
It does, 100%. I really do believe that it is truly perspective. Right.
Yeah.
It's your perspective. It's how we look at stuff. I was watching this little blurb today. I know the finals are going on now. I ain't watched the basketball NBA finals.
Oh yeah, no. Because what the dude said, if you ain't making, I don't know what he said. Somebody, if you ain't making like $20,000 a day or something, you shouldn't be watching.
Oh, well, I hadn't watched it. But we might.
A day?
Well, yeah.
Every day?
No, not every day.
Okay, then.
Not every day. But
as LaShawn said, you gotta turn that box off.
Turn it. Hey, so I'm watching it, and the NBA finals, and from what I understand, the number 1 seed, which was the Milwaukee Bucks, they lost to Miami, which I think is the number 7 seed. But Giannis, I know Giannis won a championship. They call him the Greek freak or whatnot. Really tall guy, big guy, man. I respect him a lot because he won with Milwaukee. He's been with the same team since he got in the league. I think they got a few brothers in the league too. It's like 3 of them or something. But a reporter asked him, "Do you feel like this season is a failure?" And he said, it's like he had to gain his composure. He said, it's like you guys really just, you know what? I don't want to make this personal. You work every year. Do you get a promotion every year? Right? Do you work to get a promotion? or do you work, to build something? It's steps to this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a failure. It's a step. It's a process. Jordan was in the league, or I think he said Jordan was in the league X amount of years, or he went to the finals 9 times and he only won 6. It's a process. You know what I mean? It's this. It's not, some days you play good, some days you don't play so good. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means today wasn't the day. So you go and you implement new strategies, you implement something different, and you win. So don't ask me again. You asked me the same question last year. Don't ask me again.
He was hot.
Do I think the year is a failure?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that just, when he said it, I was like, man, the mindset of this guy as a winner is different. The mindset of this reporter is, do I think it's a failure? Is it all or nothing? If I don't make $1 million this year, did I fail because I made 900?
Right. Did I learn something?
Or did I learn something?
Did I become a better person?
Exactly.
Did
right.
Did my mindset change? Did I shift something? Right.
Yeah. I said, man, that is bananas, but to see a professional athlete handle it the way that he did, and to bring it to a level in which this guy understood it. Like if whatever your objective is, if you're feeding your family, you're putting a roof on their head, whatever it may be, what is that? Is that a failure because you didn't get a promotion?
Right.
Is it a failure because you didn't do XYZ, or did you learn something, or were you working in the passion and the purpose that's for your life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If playing basketball is what I'm called to do, it's great if I win a championship. But if not, I still got a chance to play the game. I still got a chance to learn and develop, right? And when we are not learning and developing, when we're green, we're growing. When we're ripe, we're rotting.
That's good. Now that's one of those ones that you can keep. That was good.
Okay.
The green you growing.
Green you growing,
right.
Okay.
I typically like that one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the Billy Goat. Man, I am going to
I'm
going to take this board. this new little podcaster board, man. I'm taking it. Anyway, I think this is good, what I'm saying? Good segue into our very important, very important information for today. What you think?
Anytime is a good time.
Anytime is a good time for good information.
Yeah, so Bianca, it was. It was.
Yeah. What did she say?
It was a powerful interview. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I didn't see it. I don't know. Maybe you can share it with me or something, whatever platform you watch it on. But it sounds like that's absolutely the type of mindset that we should always have. I'm always for growing and becoming and learning. I always say, I say stuff like I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm open. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I'm open to learning. I'm open to growing. I'm open to being limitless.
Absolutely. And here's the deal. Like as we continue to see God, it's like our purpose and fulfillment changes. You know what I mean? Of course, it's to make disciples and to grow and to be more Christ-like and spread that light in the world. But how we do it changes.
Yeah.
So the mission stays the same, but our objective within it may change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think, different doors get unlocked for us as we become more open to our creative abilities, right? If we were created by our creator, then clearly we're created to create.
Absolutely.
We have creative abilities. I think that, we can be limitless in whatever spaces that we decide to do so, and we get more and more opportunity, the more we become open to that.
Absolutely.
Right? Like it could be stuff that was already there right in front of our faces, right? That we would have never seen before. Case in point, I think about this all the time, and maybe it's just a sense of gratefulness or just like this, wow, God, what I'm saying, type of deal. But anytime I'm on the way to the Meineke shop, I always think to myself, man, do you know how many times we drove by that spot on the interstate, not knowing anything, not thinking that this was gonna be would be ours? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many times that interstate, we have to cross that interstate every day for I know at least 7 years straight. You know what I'm saying? Like never, because I didn't see that opportunity at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think like now when I'm driving there, I'm like, man, it's the same spot.
It's the same spot, but now it's a different. It's a different org because we're able to see an opportunity.
We're able to see opportunity. Even with our home, man, this a whole neighborhood. We thinking we know everything in this spot. You know what I'm saying? And never seen it before.
Never have I ever.
Because our hearts and minds was not open to this level of living at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All we saw was where we was at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, now, oh my goodness. I see it in my mind. And then I can see it, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Externally. Whereas before I had to physically see something
for it to happen.
Oh man, it's levels to it.
It
It's levels to it, but to at least get your foot in the door, you at least got to be open. You got to be open to opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And even it might not be necessarily packaged the way that you think it would, right? Like I never thought that we would have an automotive shop.
No.
I did, but it was opportunity. I never thought when I think U-Haul, I didn't think Crystal and Lamar Robinson.
No.
I never a day.
They haul, but not U-Haul.
Right. I never in my life thought, one day I'm gonna own a U-Haul franchise.
Exactly.
Yes. No, I never. It was never a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think not State Farm either. Not as far as Amazon was concerned. I'm just thinking we just need to order.
That's it.
That's how you get stuff to the house quickly.
Absolutely.
And so, but we were open. You know what I'm saying? Our minds and our hearts were open to opportunity. Right. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just and the thing is, when we saw opportunity, I remember with the Amazon thing, I said, hey, I don't know what it's going to cost us, but I believe that this is going to change.
He said that.
I believe that this is going to change everything that's in front of us. And I'm willing to bet the house on it. I'm willing to bet everything that we got, that I got, that you got. I'm willing to bet everything.
He said that
my mother-in-law got. I'm willing to bet it all.
You can put my mama on it.
Hey,
he said the one said he bet my mama on it. Said it was good for me to do.
Hey, I'm willing to bet it all, right? Because I felt it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. And I felt it, man. But
and I don't know if I was listening to a podcast the other day. Pinky Cole. Now, Pinky out here, first of all, this podcast blew my mind. I didn't know that she only had one location in 2020.
I didn't know.
It's 2023.
Yeah.
And it seemed like this girl is on everything. I
swear,
now.
She doing pop-up
She had
shops
one location in 2020.
In Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Wow.
One. Yeah. Here it is, 2023. I don't know what number she on. I think she said on the podcast, and this was recorded in December of 2022. Mm-hmm. We in April. And I know she popped up with either 2 or 3 other locations this year, right? In 2023. And at the time, I think she said on the podcast, it was number 9.
Okay.
Right? And I'm like, this girl sees opportunity.
That's it.
And I'm talking about moves on it. Like, I see it, let's move there. Right. I see it, let's move. I'm like, in 2020, this girl had one location. Then I looked at our story, our situation. But she was saying on the podcast, she said, I just have this knowing. She said, I just know that this is something that I'm supposed to do, or this is a move that I'm supposed to make. And she was like, I don't even know. She said, I can't really describe it or explain it. She just said, when I feel it, I know I need to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many times have we, which we talked about a little bit before, but how many times have we missed, these opportunities that we're supposed to be participating in because we don't move when we know that we know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I thought about her situation, I was like, man, when I think about, our first, brick and mortar business, and then what I realized is as we start to move on opportunity that we might be a little afraid to do, but then we, kind of take a step. And then, here comes something a little later down the road, and then we take another step. What ends up happening is we're building our muscle to be able to see opportunity. And so now it looks like we're on some type of expedited process of plan. When really we've just fine-tuned our eye to see opportunity. And now we believe bigger, right? And then we move further faster.
Exactly.
Because we okay now with taking moves and jumping on opportunity when we see it. But that's a muscle that people have to learn how to build, right?
Yeah.
And why are we saying that? Because we have an opportunity. That's why. And so I'm super excited. We've been holding it for a minute, but I'm super excited to finally let you guys know that we have finished the blueprint.
It is finished.
And now it's time to build, right?
Yeah, that's it.
It's time to build.
Time to build.
And so, there it is on the screen. The franchise blueprint is finally ready. It is going to be an amazing 5-day challenge that we're going to be doing in May. And I want everybody to participate. Why? Because I think that what we're doing here and now is going to change generations.
If you wanted to.
It's going to change generations.
If not, you have permission to be complacent.
No. But if you hang with us, you can't be.
You can't be, right? But
you can't be.
But it's. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, it's a choice.
Yeah.
What we know is that there are a lot of people that ask us a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
And have a lot of reasons as to why they don't get started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why they, can or why they don't. And, and we're open to answer.
Absolutely.
We're open to answer.
And most of the time we do.
Absolutely. This just gives us a platform to be able to answer all of those questions, do it step by step, and go through the entire process from all of the businesses that we've started.
Yeah.
Right. All of the operations that we currently run. Yeah. Right. And the ones we've sold off. Yeah. Right. But all of the operations that we currently run to take that expertise to say, hey, look, this is what this looks like step by step by step by step. Right. And go through it because there was something attached to your vision.
Absolutely.
There's something attached to your dream. And if it's our purpose to share it with you, then by all means, we're going to do so.
Yeah. And what we're also going to do is make sure that we're leading people in the right direction, right? To get the results 100%. that they want to see. But for us, clearly, there was no real blueprint. We just jumped out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now
we made some mistakes.
Yeah. And so the goal and objective here is to make sure that we're taking people along this journey. Obviously, we're not going to say that it's going to be perfect, right, for everybody. But the goal and objective is to be able to lead people in such a way that they don't have to have the same pitfalls that we did, right? But they have a support system from day one, and that they're actually able to have in hand what they need to be successful in business.
To get started, absolutely.
Yeah, and for us, we know what it looks like to not have it. Yep. We know what it feels like to not have it. And I just want to be able to remove that, that issue of, hey, am I the fear of failure of, you know what I'm saying? Or just the thought of not knowing what to do, right? Like what's step number 1? What's step number 2, right?
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that this stuff is simple and easy to understand. And that's why, we called it the franchise starter kit, right? Because a lot of people think that this is, a difficult process or, that there's so much in there that they can't do it. And that's really not the truth.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Especially after we did it a few times. We was like, hold on now.
Yeah.
I mean, in transparency for us, the U-Haul deal was so simple because we had done it so many times. I'm just like, now I'm able to have this conversation so quickly, make the move, boom, we done it. Okay. I'm talking, less than 30 days, we up and running.
Hey, think about it like this. Think about the cell phone industry. Think about the first vehicle, the Model T Ford, right? You don't get the Ford that you have today without that first Ford truck. And I guarantee you, it didn't look like that. The first one that they built, like the first prototype that they were even trying, just like the cell phone didn't look like it looks today, right?
No.
The functionality of it. But as they continue to develop it, now you can't get a phone without a phone. I mean, you can't get a phone without a camera, right? At first, phones were just for phones, right?
That's all.
It barely had a backlit.
You wasn't even texting.
Exactly. But as you continue to develop in that business vein or that business or that legacy building vein and culture, it gets easier. Yeah. You start to see, okay, well, that opportunity. Oh, we can put power windows in there. Oh, we can send text messages and do colored pictures. We can put the little snake game on the phone. I don't know. I had a Nokia. That was my phone.
I had a Nokia too.
So that little snake
I used to talk to you on the Nokia.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
back in the day. After 7 o'clock. After 7, it was free and we could talk after 7.
Mine was 9.
Oh yeah, you had Cellular South or something.
Centennial Wireless.
Random. I don't even know who. Yeah, they ain't even around no more.
But no, they got bought by somebody.
Anyway, we're excited, man. We're so excited about this franchise blueprint challenge. And the reason we are is because it's taken us a while to, to put this together, but we know and understand that it's just power in community. And for us to be able to literally just break down all of these thoughts, and barriers that people have. Like, I know that this information, I mean, it's going to be mind blowing, but at the same time, it's going to be so super, simple and easy to understand, right? We're going to, not just give you the information on how to, right, start your first franchise business. If they're one business in general, we don't care, but I mean, literally, these are going to be some practical, right, step by step, information that we're going to give you in such a way that when you walk away, literally in 5 days, when you walk away, you're going to have your starter kit in your hand. Now, granted, you do have to do the work during these 5 days.
Yeah.
Right. It's work involved. But if you do the work, right, if you make the commitment to do the work, I'm guaranteeing that you're going to have what you need to get started in your hand. And what the issue is for most people is they don't even know what step 1 is.
Absolutely.
And I'm a huge advocate for saying if you do step 1, I guarantee you it's going to force you into step 2.
Absolutely.
And if you do step 2, without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to get to 3.
One step at a time.
That is exactly how this process works. And so when people always ask us, well, how did you get to State Farm Agency? Well, step 1.
That's it. Step 1.
And step 2. You know what I'm saying? Well, how did you do business with Amazon? Step 1.
And then exactly. You don't just jump out and be, like a Olympic swimmer from day one.
No, I didn't jump out the gate where 42 vans now. I didn't jump out the gate at 42. I started, ironically enough, with 5 U-Haul vans.
You really did.
Look at God.
Really did.
I started by renting 5 U-Haul vans.
Yep. Don't despise small beginnings.
Do not despise small beginnings. And sometimes that thing might loop back.
Yeah. Like real talk.
Literally.
Yeah.
But we started at step 1. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't look like what here in August will be, year 5 with that particular business. But on day 5, I had 5 U-Haul vans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And here's the deal, right? Here's why this is really so important is 1, it gives you community.
Mm-hmm.
2, it gives you connection to individuals that you can ask questions that have real life experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have an MBA and I don't know how many teachers that I learned from that actually own a business.
Mm-hmm. Well, I told you before, it's probably none.
So I'm just saying, like
we quick to be asking people, in places that we shouldn't be asking
exactly. The barbershop ain't it. You know what I mean? The barbershop ain't it. Your barber telling you the same thing that somebody else told him, that Jimmy told him, and then Lil Bebop told him, and then he just repeated it because he in the barbershop 8 hours a day, and he just heard it and just thought it'd be good for the conversation, and now you taking it as if it's the gospel and running with it.
And you mess around and that same barbershop say, how much life insurance you got? And like, man, I ain't leaving all that money back for all of it.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Come on. That's mindset. That's why we teaching on mindset.
Exactly.
That's why we're going to teach on mindset inside of this challenge. Because if you don't have the right mindset, especially for the entrepreneur journey, ain't no way. Ain't no way you're going to be able to make it to day 5, let alone year 5, right? You really have to have the right mindset to be on this journey. 100%. And it's okay. It's okay if you didn't start with the right mindset. We just saying, if you're going to rock with us, right? If you're going to come on to this franchise blueprint journey and take the 5-day challenge, you're going to have to be okay with getting your mind right.
And here's the deal. Your mind, right? If your mind can have that negative talk, but if your soul and your spirit is saying it's more for me out there, right? If your inner man is saying it's more for me out there, but your mind is telling you something different, the Bible already said that it's always, you know what I'm saying? It's a war between the flesh and the spirit. So you gotta know that if your soul, if your spirit, if your inner man is saying, hey, it's more for me out there, and your mind is telling you something different, you gotta know that you in the battle.
Yeah.
You about to make the right decision. To go somewhere else. You got to be able to fight against that for a split second. Make that decision, get yourself in the right community so that you can then be empowered to change your legacy and the legacies after you, to be able to enrich your life in a way that you may have never even thought possible, but your inner man knew it was possible, but it's all because you took step 1.
Absolutely. I love that. Lena said there's more for me out there. Y'all should all put that in the chat. I think there's more for me out there too. Listen, we have the ability to access abundance. So I think there's more for me out there too. I think you guys should put that in the chat. There's more for me out there.
There's more for me.
Look, when I tell you we excited about this, I'm more so excited. Praise God that we actually been able to launch, because my Lord, have we been up? Yeah. We've been up, making sure that this is right. Making sure that that we're giving everything it is that we have in us to give,
and
right?
More,
and more.
Don't let the price dictate the value. I promise you, don't let the price dictate the value. This is just us saying, hey, we want to do something for the kingdom, but our time is and our information is of importance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look at that. She just purchased the Blueprint VIP. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
Look,
absolutely.
What I'm telling y'all is this. I know that some of you have been feeling like, man, this could be a tall glass of water. And I'm telling you right now, step-by-step processes, we're going to put them in place for you so that you can see, right, that it really is just about you, putting one foot in front of the other and getting this thing done. And so it seems like a huge feat to get funding, but it's really not. We're going to demystify that. It seems like it's a huge feat to figure out what kind of business that you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to help you figure that out as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a process to that. There's some businesses that some people just shouldn't be doing. Let me tell you something. If I ever own a daycare, it's going to be because I'm a financial investor, not because I'm in there wiping nobody snotty noses. But, I know that about me, and not just because just innately I know that, but based off of personality and my business skills and acumen, I know that there's some spaces that I wouldn't be able to operate well in. We're gonna help you with that as well.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, right, I'm not changing a diaper. I'm not chasing after no kids. But I know that there are some business forms that I won't physically be in, but I can invest in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to help people to identify what's the right business for you. Because some people look, I don't know if I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. Maybe I want to be a part-time entrepreneur and work a job, full-time. Or maybe, hey, I want to go all in, but I don't know what I want to go all in and do.
Right.
Right. And that's the whole point of the blueprint, is to help you to figure that out. When you're building the house, you might know you want 5 bedrooms, but you may not know where they all going to be located at the time.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you can get with an architect, right? You can get with an expert, and they're going to tell you, well, based off of the size of the land you got,
this is what we can do.
This is what we can do, right? Based off of the amount of money you got, this is what you can do.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of the blueprint, is helping you to figure out step by step what it is that you want to do, how you're going to do that, and then putting together, the plan to get you to that destination.
Absolutely.
So when I say we excited,
we excited. It's gonna be 5 powerful days. 5, I mean, each day, live, me and Crystal on here, giving you what we got. And it's ours to extend and yours to excel.
Well, look at that. Is we doing salvation, or we extending the blueprint? We might have been both. If you don't know the Lord, then you can get to know him as well. In addition to joining us on the 5-day challenge to build your business starter kit, you need to go to franchisestarterkit.com. You need to sign up today. It's totally up to you. As he says, it's his to extend and yours to accept. We want as many people that actually want to do the work. All right, on the journey with us, right? We're literally building an amazing community here, and I know, I'm telling you, I've seen this, and I told you I transformed from having to physically see it, right? I've transformed from having to physically see it, that now I see things in my mind.
Absolutely.
And I told him when we were building this, I said, man, I see families, I see the millionaires that we're creating on this journey. I see it. And why do I have my eyes closed right now? Because I see these families rejoicing, right? After they've opened their first business. Right. I see these families rejoicing after they've taken major leaps of faith, right? I see these families that, months from now, a year or 2 from now, whatever, I see these families saying, man, I made my first million, right? I see it.
We've seen it now from families and other business owners that what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? It is what it is.
It feels amazing when
Absolutely.
You can, what I'm saying, when you can share, right, with people that love and care about, you share information with them, and then you see transformation.
Absolutely.
I'm just now wanting to do it on much bigger scale here. And so for as many people that are willing to join us on this journey, I'm telling you, I see it. Now I don't see the faces yet, right? But I see the silhouettes of these families that are participating here. I see us, you know what I'm saying, on the beaches of the world, you know what I'm saying, taking these, you know, quarterly or semi-annual trips, you know what I'm saying, just excited about being financially free. You know, I see us on the bungalows, my God, right? I see us on the yachts. Having a good time.
Discussing our quarterly
deals. Come on. I see us having the financial meetings once a year, talking about our projections of where our companies are gonna go. Like
our kids meeting y'all kids, and
listen,
just talking, and hey, this is what we're doing. Yeah, it's a deal.
I see it. And so I'm just telling you, I don't see your face, but I see the silhouettes.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna be plugged into those pieces, but I know what God told us, right? I know what we can do, right? For those that want to join on to the journey with us. I'm just saying, hey, we here. We here.
Absolutely.
We are available. And right now it's for the low. Okay. The 5-day challenge is out here. And I'm super, super excited about this one.
Absolutely.
This is going to be amazing. This is gonna be 5 absolutely fire days. As a matter of fact, y'all should put fire
in the chat.
In the chat, because it's gonna be a fire 5 days. It's gonna be a fire 5 days. You need to go to franchisestarterkit.com and you need to register. There's options there. I think it's a $97 option, because here's the deal, right? We don't want nothing to get in the way.
Yeah, no.
We don't want nothing to get in the way of people saying, I didn't know, you know, or I can't. Listen, don't be thinking about what you can't do, okay? You need to think about what you're gonna miss out on if you don't participate.
What is the possibility of you winning this homework pass?
I'm just saying, what is the possibility of you winning this homework pass? That boy said, put everything I got on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're willing to bet on you. Listen, and the thing is, like, when we understand that God called us to be kings, right? To give us a kingdom. Our kingdom is like our domain. Like, what does he give us the gifts and talents to do, right? When we realize that and we're willing to step into rulership and to own that, then we'll do it. But if we don't see it like that, right? If we don't see that God created us to be kings and queens, to be generally respectful, right? Not one and the same. Each individuals, right? A king is a king and a queen is a queen. We ain't got that gender fluidity thing.
Yeah, but we still all kings, right?
Yeah, I just want to be clear.
I understand what you're saying, but biblically speaking, we all kings. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you on that. Amen. Amen.
There ain't no them and days.
It's us. It's us. Me and you.
Yeah, this is us, but ain't no them and
forever
days.
And always. It's gonna be me and you. But yes, if y'all want to join us, man, I'm telling you, this is gonna be exciting. I'm super happy.
Sure.
Literally that we finally been able to release this. Honestly, I'm like, tonight I am going to go to sleep before midnight.
Oh,
that's it.
Good luck.
Okay. All right now. So anyway, we over. Are we over our time?
Yeah, we
over.
8 minutes over. Yeah.
It's our podcast. We can do what we want to do.
We can, but I want to be respectful of your time. Hey, listen, please like and share it.
Yeah.
Like and share. We do want to continue to grow, right?
Yeah.
We do want to continue to grow. If you know of individuals that are looking to start a business or just got a plethora of questions about it, send them to the franchisestarterkit.com. I promise you, they will get all their questions answered.
Absolutely.
And if they don't move after that, it's just because they don't want to move.
Yeah, like I said, we made it super affordable, right? You can, if nothing else, you can get in the door for $97. I'm sorry, for the information alone, you know, in 5 days of the amount of time that we put into this, $97 is free in my book.
Putting together years of information.
Yeah,
like years of information that compiled that you ain't got to do the research. You ain't doing the research.
No, we're putting the process together. Yeah. But obviously there's some VIP options there, you know, that'll get you more access, more time. But we're going to be building a community of like-minded individuals that are literally, hey, on this path and on this journey and ready, you know, to live their dreams for sure.
Yep.
And so I told y'all I was different. I told y'all I was gonna be different this year. I told y'all we was gonna be, you know, doing some big, amazing things this year. And there is still more.
Absolutely.
There is still more. Absolutely. Believe it or not.
Because when you start and take step 1, then guess what? It's easier to see step 2.
Absolutely. This has been amazing. Everybody, they saying I'm ready in the chat. That's what I'm
Let's
talking
go.
about.
Let's go.
They said this is super affordable. Absolutely, it is super affordable. Because look, at the end of the day, wherever you start, if you're starting, whether you're already an entrepreneur and you want to take it to the next level, or whether this is going to be your first ever venture, right? We want to make it to the point where you really don't have any other excuse.
Absolutely.
Right? The price is not the reason why you wouldn't do this challenge, right? I can't get you out of your fear. You're going to have to make that decision, but you connect with us, and I'm telling you, after a while, you ain't going to stay stuck.
Absolutely.
That's just not what we do, so we wanted to make sure that for those that literally wanted to participate, for those that are really looking to change the generations to come after them.
Absolutely.
We didn't want the price to be the reason why you didn't at least participate.
Absolutely.
So we're going to put the information there. We made it affordable and accessible for everybody. Now you get to decide, right, if you going to go all in or not.
Absolutely. And let me be clear on this. Just because you make 6 figures on your job, that doesn't mean that you're happy.
No.
Right? This ain't listen, this is about purpose. This is about helping you understand and uncover the purpose-driven business that you have and be able to identify to get all of the blockers out of the way. But see, because some of us, that success that we've had from the world standard will block us. It'll block us because we feel like, hey, we made 6 figures because my family only made, $30,000-$45,000 during the height of their career. So now that you make 6 figures, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year or whatever, a couple $100,000, I could care less what you make.
Yeah.
If it's not fulfilling your purpose,
right,
you could be leaving your legacy in the dust.
Yeah.
Because it ain't what you leave to your family. It's what you leave in your family.
Absolutely, sir. You preaching now. And 6 figures, whether it's on a job or even in a business that you own, it's like, are you in the right lane? And I think that's what's important for us on this challenge is making sure that those that connect with us are in the right lane, like where they should be, where they are purpose filled, right? What they do feel like they have the capacity to hold. Because we've learned some lessons of places of where we don't want to be.
Absolutely.
And so I think that it's super important that we're expressing that level of transparency to say, we didn't always get it right, but we're going to make sure that, as we are helping those that are participating with us, we're showing you open book. Hey, these are lessons learned, right? In these areas. Here are some ways that we immediately noticed that we needed to make improvement. We made the shift and we did, right? So now that those that are coming into the community don't have to make those same mistakes.
Absolutely.
That we did, right? And I think that that's the beauty of what it is that we're doing here, is that we're giving you this blueprint after we didn't, we didn't scratch this thing out a couple times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're not telling you that this after 5 minutes of trying to build a stick house. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we have enough information here, right, that we can get you started on your journey, and you have the faith, right? You got not just the faith, but now you got the practical tools and skills, right, to get you to the next level. So,
and you ain't talking to people that started a business in the same industry.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you talking
we
financial services,
in different worlds.
logistics, real estate, mechanic, transportation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you classify U-Haul as, rental service. I don't know. But
I don't know.
It's 4 totally different industries.
Yeah. They are different industries, but that's something else that we'll be teaching in the challenge. It was strategic.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, we we got real smart, and so you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is sign up for this challenge. That's what you need to do.
That's step 1.
Go to franchisestarterkit.com. Franchisestarterkit.com. I think they're gonna can y'all put that in the chat for me? Shout out to the creative meal that's been staying up with us in the midnight hours, helping us to get this together. The creative meal. Lamont, my eardrums, I'm trying to tell you, you're blowing them out with the little sound effects.
Oh, we got to turn it down.
Please turn my volume. Like, it's a sound man.
Turn me up.
Turn me down.
That's an old Baptist
church. Me down, because you're blowing my ear cap. Now I can't hear nothing, bro. Let's turn it back. He didn't mess me all the way up. Anyway, shout out to the Creative Meal.
I'm not a sound man.
He is not. That's why you should be touching the board for helping us to get all this together. FranchiseStarterKit.com is live, and we are ready. I'm talking about this is going to be amazing. So the challenge is happening in May. So I'm telling you right now, do not wait till the last minute to start up for this challenge, because we are going to close the doors. Now, we'll never close the doors of the church, but we going to close the doors of this challenge. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell us when the challenge got started that you just not seeing this, right? You need to tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell your friends, right? That you participate in this challenge. And if they want to get in on it, they need to get in on it very soon. The challenge is happening. I think it's May the... What is it? Don't make me make up no dates. I think it's the 15th through the 19th.
I think so. Yeah,
May 15th through the 19th. Y'all need to jump on this challenge. I'm ready to start getting ready to go to bed, because I've been up for a lot of days, and so I'm gonna go. I'm ready to go to bed, man. I'm telling y'all, all of this excitement, I put it all into the challenge, and y'all gonna get it all out in this 5-day challenge. So you want to be there. You want to be there, and you don't want to miss this. I'm super excited. Thank you, Chrissy. May the 15th through the 19th. Last time. FranchiseStarterKit.com. Y'all have an amazing night.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And we will see you next week.
Blessings, guys.